Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is Myth and Gears, and we are going to continue our ongoing campaign called Black Sails in Dark Skies. And just 1 second. And before we begin, I will throw it to my players to introduce themselves, the character they're playing, and anything they'd like to plug. First off, we have Jeremy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeremy. I also have a YouTube channel. It's called the Erasmus Expeditions. You can find it on YouTube. I might have said it was a YouTube channel, but I'm going to tell you a second time, just in case. Yeah, I'm also 1/3 of the Dudes of Yore podcast, which can also be found on, surprisingly, YouTube. So go check that out. I do that with my friends Jeff Doty and Chad Nick. And yeah, I also have all kinds of live plays and things like that on my channel. Go check it out. But today I'm going to be stepping back into the boots of the captain of the Triton's Folly, Bronson Fisk, usually called Mr. Fisk or now Captain Fisk. I'm very excited. This is a fantastic group of people to play with. These are some of my favorite people in the world. So Genesys, while not my favorite system in the world, I think I'm finally starting to get the hang of it. And but we'll see. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, and we'll all get a hang of it at some point, I hope. I'm still learning myself. So next we have Dave.
Welcome back. All right, Black Sails. I'm happy to be here as well. I think Jeremy says every time that he's still learning the system, as we all are. My channel's Mournblade Gaming, but I do need to put up some new content. It's been on hiatus for a while, but I will be coming back as Ephriam Archibald Ulysses Delagny and seeing what kind of havoc I can wreak and whose feet I can step on. But I'm interested to see how we come out of this, of course, unscathed, but yeah. So here we go.
Of course unscathed, because that's how this works, right? And next we have Baron.
Hey everyone, I'm Baron. I'm on the YouTube channel RWD Gaming. I just recently played a game that went up on the channel with Megan here. It was a lot of fun. Go check it out if that's something you're interested in. It was Halloween, spoopy, fun, I guess. I am playing Charlatan Charlie, the rightful first mate, but we'll see. We will see how that goes.
First mate, I love that. Next we have Jason.
Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Jason. I also have a non-existent YouTube channel, Smithford Gaming. A few live plays up there. Looking to get back into that at some point when life settles down. Looking forward to getting back into this. I will be playing Mr. Argus Scheffley once again. Hopefully I'm awake this time. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens this week.
It's good to have you back. We missed you last week, so I'm glad you're here. And last but not least, we have Megan.
Hey everyone, Megan. I am one half of the YouTube channel Dice on Ice, where we do live plays, and actually you can catch myself and Karen on Tuesday for the Curse of Strahd campaign that is ongoing and is super spooky. So yeah, check it out. And today I will be playing Nicola King, the real first mate, in reality.
Real is such a subjective term.
And with that, we will begin. So previously on Black Sails, our intrepid crew had gone to the underground bar of the crypt, where they had been met by another pirate captain, in fact, two pirate captains, a Captain Blackguard and a Captain Morneau. And while talk didn't quite go out as friendly as it could have, fighting ensued. But amongst all of that, there was treachery, as a mechanical cat exploded down in the tavern and pretty much destroyed it, causing everyone to flee. Also knocking out poor Argus, who had just recovered from recovered consciousness, and he was back in the darks of the depths. Our crew ran out, were able to escape that as the room behind them collapsed, thus letting them escape. And as they were vacating and running after Captain Morneau and Blackguard, a hand gripped Nicola and pulled her into a small passageway. She returned and made sure all of them followed her, where we found out that the person who belonged to the hand was none other than Nicola's father, who had just been released from the Carnival. A super high security, I guess, prison. They then went and visited the head librarian at the university that Nicola knew, Mrs. Scheffley, where they found a room that Nicola's father had set up before he was sent to prison, and is now Nicola's, under Nicola's ownership. She has the key as well as all of the treasures inside. They found an ancient book, and they've taken a bunch of scrolls. I think that we also see that during the conversation, when they were talking with Mrs. Scheffley about other things of import, it came up that there used to be a map that was important, but it was stolen from her at one point when she was trying to get something translated on the document. She had taken it out of the storage, and in that process, it was removed from her possession. When asked, the only thing she could say was a description of the person that did it, which to everyone who listened matched Argus to a T. So now we find our crew back in the sewers, returning from the library back to where they had left Stitch with Argus's unconscious body. And that's where we'll begin. You guys enter back into that little room. Stitch, his one arm hanging there. He's got it kind of folded in front of him as he is crouched against the wall, just watching Argus, waiting for him to stir and waiting for you guys to return. And I will turn it over to you as you walk into this room. What are you guys doing?
I think Argus would be muttering something in his unconscious state.
So Fisk will walk in, and he kind of like walks deep enough into the room that he knows there's going to be enough space for everyone to kind of follow in behind him. And the entire time he has entered the room, his eyes are on Argus, and he kind of crosses and turns to face Argus's sleeping form on the floor and regards him for a long moment before he turns to the others and he says, "Well, what are we to do with him?"
He should speak for himself. There's a lot of accusations from others. He needs to be held accountable and to explain his side. And hopefully he is honest.
He kind of arches an eyebrow at this last statement.
Yeah, I'd have to admit that he right fucked some things, so he probably got some words for you, Captain, and of course the first mate. And he looks from Nicola to Charlie, back to Nicola. So, is he just muttering and dying, or is he gonna live?
I think at that, Nicola would go to kind of take over, or to at least assist, check his vitals.
With eyes still closed, groggily Scheffley would mutter to Ephriam, "You can't be rid of me that easy, you ugly bastard."
Well, some of those are true, I believe. I think. Wait, what's he talking about?
Fisk kind of crouches down next to Argus and kind of rolls him onto his back or whatever and kind of looks into his face. That means you are feeling better, Argus?
I believe that is a term, Captain, that requires definition.
Are you able to get yourself upright?
And with a loud groan and probably some cracking, Argus attempts to sit up. Oh, God.
Fisk will help him. Well, you've looked better, that's for sure.
Though not much.
What the bloody hell happened?
There was an explosion, and a short skirmish ensued. Much has happened since you've been unconscious. We should get out of this city very quickly.
Imagine that Argus's eyes are just red with the blood vessels from the concussion of this explosion. Looking about him. We're on the Folly.
No. We're in the sewers. We're still in the sewers, right?
I thought we were on the boat.
No, you're in the sewers. Small little room that Stitch had basically found and taken over.
Argus is clearly out of his mind.
They say, no, we are in the sewers. Is it?
I just thought that was Ephriam.
Hey, now we just met, and there's no reason to be casting aspersions at one another unless we're going to start drawing steel, and I don't think that would be right now. So, and you've got your head all fucked up, so. By the way, I'm Ephriam, and he reaches down with his meaty paw and grips his hand a little too hard. Damn fine to meet you. And sorry about the burns on your face. I know the gunpowder is, yeah, I was looking to save your ass, actually. So, they say we need you, so.
It looks as if he's like searching through his mind, trying to make sense of everything. What the fuck are we doing in the sewers?
The meeting we had went poorly. You must have hit your head hard, Vargas. We are still beneath Paragon, but we are learning that the dangers in this city are more than we may be able to see. We really should not dally.
I'm in total agreement, sir. As I was trying to make my way back towards the crew, the dangers here are much more than they seem.
Probably didn't help that you took our prisoner when you left.
Something you will surely have to answer for in due time.
Can we at least get out of here first? Or do you seek to interrogate me right here and now?
No, I think we'll save the flogging for now. He kind of helps Argus up onto his feet.
But there will be a flogging.
Threaten me with a good time, Charlie.
Well, you know,
It's
there's
no
stories
threat.
about where that black hand came from. As he reaches over and takes him from the captain and shoulders him to help carry him.
Okay, and refresh Jeremy, if you will. Was there any other business that we needed to try to get done here in Paragon, or are we like GTFO?
I'll leave that up to you, but you can GTFO if that is what you want. I think you did what you came here for. You wanted to go to the university.
Right.
You got that information.
We have the book with us? The like map fold out thing?
The ancient text, yes.
That's what it
Nicola
is.
took that.
Didn't we
And
want to go to the port we were at before to talk to Captain Fisk's lady friend?
Oh, yes, yes. Mrs. Fleshley, though she couldn't help Charlie with his illness, she said that he should seek out a Vidun woman.
That's right.
What
Sorry,
is the current,
Tuvalan woman.
what is the current state of my hand right now? Like it had been determined that it had spread farther, but how far exactly did we say? Like has it reached the palm yet?
I would say it's probably kind of scraggly where you touch. So it's kind of like probably a jagged mark along. So it's in your palm a little bit. More so on the one side than the others.
These fingers that are tainted, do
Yeah.
they feel any different?
No, not to you. To you, everything feels normal. You wouldn't even know until you look at it.
So like I can still feel they're not like numb
Yes.
or dead or
Yeah, exactly. They feel normal to you until you look at them.
can I like prick my finger, make myself bleed?
Sure.
So I think Charlie would kind of be playing with a knife as this conversation is going on and kind of absentmindedly stick the tip of the knife into my finger to see what comes out.
So when you prick your finger, some ruby droplets fall out. But I don't know what you're doing them on, if you're just going to hit it on the floor or whatever. But on closer inspection, you can see swirls of inky black in them. It's very slight.
Is Nicola here still? Have we left?
You're still in the room at this.
I think Nicola would be attending to Argus, just making sure that he's not getting any more injury by being dragged out. But if you, but she's still.
If you're doing that, I don't think he would have got your attention. Then he may have just noted it, like wiped it on his doublet or jacket or whatever, and put his glove back on.
Well, if we are ready to travel, then we really should be going. The Verde Capital will not take long to reach down here, I'm afraid.
What about our friend here, Stubby?
Yeah, I think Nicola would look back towards her father. You are coming, right?
They will be hunting me, though.
They're hunting us all, mate.
They all know about us now. I feel like your information will be more helpful than hindrance. And then she kind of stops herself and looks at Captain Fisk. Of course, it is, if it is all right with the captain.
Are you familiar with sailing vessels?
He lets out a kind of a hearty chuckle, as much as could be said from this poor scrawny old man. The chuckle ends in a coughing fit. And when he's cleared that, he's like, yes, I used to be a captain myself at one point.
And welcome aboard the Triton's Folly.
Hey. And he reaches over and goes to give him a high five with the one arm that's missing. He's like, yeah, and he just reaches over and pats him on the shoulder.
God, Ephriam, you're so fucking daft.
Hey, fuck you. I can't think of something witty.
Not surprised.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I'll get you back later.
Eagerly awaiting. Back to Havren then. I'm getting kind of worried about this, to be honest.
We will get to the bottom of it, Charles. We will.
It's either that or they're going to hit the bottom of the ocean real fucking fast because I'm going to cut them off.
Let's wait until we get to Port Havren if we can. And he kind of looks nervously at Nicola.
Well, so how long has it been since we first looked at it? It's been about a few days, right? Or a day?
It's been a few days. It's been, I would say, about a week since, actually, it's been a couple of weeks since Charlie has actually, when he first got it. But since you guys first noticed, it's been a few days, like 5 or 6 days.
Right.
Well, look, I know waiting sounds good to you, but I don't really want to have a mechanical arm. If I can lose 2 fingers, that's one thing, but it's already getting into my hand.
I would wait. The growth is not that much. And as long as it doesn't accelerate, should be able to make it back.
We're not getting to Havren in 2 fucking days.
How long does it take to get to...
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Does it take 2 days?
No, it takes about 3 weeks to a month.
Takes fucking a month to get there. How much is this going to have enveloped my hand at that point?
And what if she can heal your hand? Then you've just cut it off for no reason.
That's what you're missing. I'm not trying to lose the whole fucking hand, just 2 fingers.
He's kind of got some logic there. I even though he's an asshole, I just can't argue with that. I'd be the one happy to cut it off for you if you'd like.
But if it's already on your palm,
he's already gonna fucking cut it off. Can you just sew me up? That's fine.
if it's already on your palm, what is the point of cutting off 2 fingers then? It's not going to stop it.
Peeled the skin back. Yeah,
should cut the whole fucking thing off.
So if we're going to cut the whole thing off anyway, why don't we just leave it? We won't let it get past your wrist. How does that sound? You'll come to me every day and we'll check it.
Isn't there something called a
turntable?
Tourniquet?
That's it. Yeah. The last boat I was on, there was a man named Javier that he was pretty good with, not as good as you, of course, Nicola, but he would use a tourniquet, and it wasn't always the best, but it was so intricate, and not the time, is it?
Tourniquets result in the loss of the hand anyway.
Well,
or maybe much higher up.
Regardless,
What it-
Charles, whatever you decide to do with your hand, I do not think that lopping it off here amongst the shit and the grime is necessarily the best course of action. So, shall we at least return to the ship and leave this port behind us?
Yes, Captain.
And Stitch turns to you, Captain Fisk, now that this kind of this part of the conversation has ended, and he looks at you. I would be honored to come with you on your ship. Thank you. And then he turns to Nicola. Shall we? I can lead you out. Where is your ship, by the way? Turns back to you, Captain Fisk.
If I remember right, there was more than one dock, and we were at the lower dock.
Yeah, you had decided when you pulled in that you wanted to be on the lower dock, as it would be easier to get back onto your ship than having to go up into the higher levels.
We docked at the lower docks. The ship should be ready to sail very quickly.
There's going to be many patrols between here and there. We best take care on our way back. We may have to go circumvent us. Not a straight line is what I'm trying to say. I don't know the words, but the more curvy path on the way back to the docks.
Charles, your knowledge of this part of the city, do you think you can get us back to the docks with some haste?
Do my best.
Okay, so what I would like is a streetwise check from you, Charlie. Stitch will be helping you throughout this. So he, with his skill, is going to give you 2 boost die worth of help. Your difficulty, we'll just make it a standard. So 2 purple at this point. And we'll see how well you do this.
So, so if I have a 4 in cunning, does that mean 4 green die or 2 green die and 1 triumph?
It means 4 dice. Sorry, you had 4 in cunning. What do you have in streetwise?
I have nothing in streetwise.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it would be 4 green dice.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have story points, so you could upgrade if you want to.
No, I'll just trip Nicola. We'll be good. Oh yeah, we'll be good. So we got 5 advantage, 1 success.
Okay, so you are actually able, with that, you are able to not only lead back to where, like in a relatively short time frame, but with 5 advantage, you manage to evade any of the patrols that you find in the sewers. You see them way before, or hear them be way before they would ever see you, and you manage to either hold in place until they pass, or you manage to skirt around them. But with that many advantage, all of you will make it through in good time, actually. So you had to go around, kind of detour around the area where the crypt had been, because that entire section now was kind of caved in a little bit, and lots of chaos there. When you eventually get yourself out of the sewers, probably a couple of blocks away from where the docks actually are, you can see behind you the red sky, which is odd at this point because it should not be red, but you realize that the entire area behind you where the crypt would have been is afire. The city is burning in that section of town. And when you get to the docks, you find yourselves in the midst of chaos, we'll say. There are so many soldiers and military personnel running this way and that. There's a lot of shouting. There are people running to and fro. Ships are trying to take off. So I want to share something with you. Ships are trying to take off willy-nilly, so there's minor bumps and crashes as people are getting in each other's way. As you see, as you get closer to that, the upper docks above where your ship would be, some of that area is also on fire, and there sounds like there's a series of combat, etc. up there, noises of fighting. What I need right now is everyone to make me a perception check, please.
Seems time is of the essence on leaving this place.
Is there a difficulty?
Yeah, sorry. It will be difficulty 2 with a setback die.
Oh. And that's the black one?
Yes.
Okay.
So 2 purple and 1 black.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Got 2 failure and 2 advantage.
Okay.
4 successes and a disadvantage. 2 disadvantage.
I got a complete wash and 2 threats. You're welcome, guys.
And what do we have? I think it's
I got
Argus.
2 advantage here. Sorry.
2 advantage.
I am completely canceled out. I had 1 success, 1 failure, 2 advantage, and 2 threats.
Okay. So only Charlie sees this. Charlie, as you're looking around and noticing that the upper levels, some of which are on fire, you see some figures climbing up the supports. So they're not using any of the normal channels to get up, but they're climbing up the supports, and you can tell that that it looks like it was Captain Morneau and Captain Blackguard and maybe a few of their crew that are climbing up the dock supports to these higher levels. And I'm going to say all your threats and advantages cancel out as a group. So we will leave it at that.
Can I tell like what they're climbing towards on the upper docks, or just the upper docks in general?
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get up the levels, and they're not trying to go up like the stairs or any of the ladders or the regular supports, because those are heavily guarded with like all the landings, etc., are guarded with soldiers and the Verdicappa.
Would I have an assumption on what their plan is? Are they trying to steal a ship or something?
You probably anticipate that rather than you guys chose a lower bunk, like a lower berth, because it would be easier to get onto your ship from the ground. And you think what they've done is they've probably landed in an upper level because it's easier to take off from in case of trouble. But now they're running the risk of having to get there in the first place. So you, from what you can see, is they probably have docked in one of those higher levels and are trying to get out there.
Seems our friends are trying to make an escape as well.
It would appear that it's the plan for many of these vessels. Hopefully there's enough clear space for the Triton's Folly to sail out of here.
Well, I think we should go. We should go now.
I don't like leaving the two of them as a loose end, but I really do not think we have a choice in this moment.
How far are they from us at this point? Out of gunshot?
Yeah, they're a few hundred feet away.
I'd have to roll amazing to shoot him from this. Okay.
Yeah. If your shot would even get that far. I'm not sure.
Right. Well, at least your eyes are still working there, Charlie boy. I mean, thank God they haven't, the irises. Well, at least you can still fucking see.
Well, I see everything, Ephriam. I ain't got fucking eyelids.
Wow. Okay.
Do you want to know how I got these scars?
I don't think we have time for that, Charles.
I would like to hear that story, but as Mr. Fisk, I mean, Captain says it's not the time. So he starts pushing Argus a little harder, not hurting him, but shouldering him, making sure we're moving.
Perhaps after some rum later. And I think Fisk is just going to like reach out and grab like a jug of rum that's like been abandoned in kind of the chaos and everything that obviously was left by someone. And he's just going to grab it and like thrust it into Charles's chest.
Yeah, Charlie, stop fucking around.
Stop fucking around.
Is there, like, I know a lot of times in traditional like pirate stories and stuff, there's like fortresses, like gun fortresses in port towns. Is there anything like that within range of where we're going to be leaving in the Folly?
So I'm going to say there probably is a couple, but it's not nearly as heavily armed like that as like one of the other smaller port cities would be, like the port towns, especially the ones on the other side of the ocean. This one, I guess most of the protection relies on the fact that it is very trepidatious for pirates to actually come to Paragon, because this is where, you know, the military has a very good stronghold. So not so much do they stop you from coming in, but they pretty much try to catch you when you're here. So yes, there will be maybe a couple like gun turrets, etc., that could be around, but that's probably not the worst what's the biggest threat. The fact that the Empire Armada is also here, so you kind of need to leave without being seen, or you have a good chance of them following you. You are currently also docked as a merchant vessel and show the colors for that as well. So
Is the fire threatening any of these cannon embankments or whatever? Because that could be dangerous as well. Because
Not at
black
this.
powder.
Yeah, not at this time. The fires seem to be located above the city where the crypt was. So whatever happened down there in the crypt with that explosion and the subsequent chaos seems to have erupted at street level. So that part of the section of town, the city is burning, as well as it looks like some of the upper docks. And so most like the ships themselves that are docked in those areas are what are threatened to be on fire.
Okay, so you guys feel free to give me any kind of like inputter here, but I think we should just get on the ship and just get out. Like keep the
I think
colors.
we should actually hang out until this has died down a little bit, because we are a merchant vessel here, and I feel like us trying to hightail it out of here is just going to look suspicious. Whereas if we wait a little while and then go, it can be like, well, you know, that has nothing to do with us. We just need to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we could still do that now, but
I think we should get to the ship and prepare to sail. But it's always a good excuse to just say, well, there was a fire at the docks and we're here to protect our ship just in case.
Right.
And I could also make sure all the cannons are ready if we need to blast our way out of here.
I think if it comes down to us shooting cannons, we're already fucking dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
we'll
better
get out of
than
here.
being caught with our pants down.
Damn it, Delagny. You're smarter than you smell.
I know. And I don't like being caught with my pants down, if you know what I mean.
Nobody likes that.
Wow.
Well,
Unless I'm paying them.
I don't
Nobody wants
really
your
mind
pants
too
down.
much.
That's completely
Charlie,
circumstantial.
Charlie, that was we said we wouldn't talk about that.
That depends. Who's catching me and how far down are my pants?
I was saying nobody wanted Delaney's pants to be down.
Who knows? Probably into that.
Depends on the amount of rum. No. So yeah, I think staying under the guise of the merchant vessel, loading the guns. Did we set the crew to like offload or load cargo at all to like help with the ruse of being a merchant ship? I can't remember if that was a call we made or not.
I am unsure
think-
at this point. You had a bunch of stuff that you had pilfered from not only the Defiance itself, but also from that sorry, I lost the name of
Justice
it. But
Fight
yes, thank you. Yeah,
or the Bite of Justice.
Bite of
That's right.
Justice, the Verde Kappa ship. So you had wares that you could sell. I don't know if you decided that this is the place you wanted to sell them or not, but
I
I'll leave that
somehow
call for you.
think fencing our stolen goods in the military capital of the world is the best idea.
Well, could we fence just the things from the non-Verde Kappa ship?
Yeah, like the stuff you picked up from the Defiance.
Can
Yeah,
we
just
like
from the Defiance?
retroactively do something like that?
Can we spend a story point to do so?
Absolutely.
Because I mean, it had been established that I know people here, so it could be safe to assume that I knew a fence.
Well, and it would be good to like. I imagine it's all been like sorted through, and like we're going to keep a certain portion of it for what's usable, and the rest is just value. So sell it and get coin. It's easier to carry and easier to keep as nondescript.
And food for the trip.
Yes, yeah. I guess people need to eat.
Yeah, can we also maybe tack that onto our kind of list of tasks for the crew, is to procure some victuals?
Yeah, absolutely. So you could have you've went through, you cherry picked some of the stuff that you wanted to get rid of, you sold it in reply for new supplies, and what else were you looking for?
I don't think we should take on any more cargo while we're here, because if we do have to make a getaway, like being able to be light and move faster would be, I think, much better.
We also
Yeah,
have a
as we're-
crap ton of medical supplies that we got from. Was it the Bite?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So we're good there.
And in all the chaos, I would imagine that there is some cargo that's on the docks. And as Captain Fisk says, we'd probably not want to load any more on, as Delagny's looking at all this cargo on the docks. Like, we could fucking load that and that. No, sorry, we won't be doing that.
Okay, so have we made it back to the ship yet?
You've made it back to the lower part of the docks, but between you and your ship is quite the space that you'll have to cross or somehow get around. But there are many Verda Kappa soldiers going to and fro. There's also people to and fro. Also, I'll mention that of these ships that are flying away, that are, kind of bumping into each other, crashing, that, et cetera, most of them are what you can tell, merchant ships themselves. So it's like everybody's panicking. Maybe some are getting away from where the fires have started or whatever, but the skies are kind of filled with all sorts of smaller, some larger vessels. Nothing outright screams, hey, these are pirate ships leaving.
So here's what I'm thinking, guys. I'm thinking that we do the old scene where we come across like some kind of fancy clothing store, and we all dress in like ridiculous finery that makes us look not like pirates. And of course, one of us probably has to end up in a fancy dress. Probably not Nicola, because that's too obvious.
Delagny.
Fuck off.
Delagny's the obvious choice.
Hey, so real quick, the Verda Kappa have a beef with the crew for something they did at another time than when Delagny was not part of the crew, correct? So technically, Delagny is not necessarily on their radar.
So the Verda Kappa themselves let's say they're not looking for a duty in particular, except maybe the Defiance and her crew. But they have basically upped their vigilance against anybody who is remotely related to piracy and illicit gotten gains. So not only pirates, but anybody who would harbor and all the various, underground places, i.e. like the crypt themselves, have come into target the last few weeks. So security has just been upped. So though they're not particularly searching for Delagny himself, if you are found to be, or even suspected to be, a pirate, he will be.
I look like one, so.
Yeah, handled in the most not generous of ways.
So where's that dress, Captain? He looks at you with his face is pale, and he's just like, he's not smiling. You can see the black teeth is. And we will not speak of this again.
So yeah, I am open to suggestions. What do you guys want to do? Because I don't think there's any hope in hell of the five of us crossing patrols of these people and passing as anything but pirates.
I pretty much look like a pirate.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the case for everybody.
Yeah, even Scheffley's looking a little rougher than usual.
We're all missing limbs. Most of us are missing limbs, and
I mean, Nicola does have her university attire.
yeah. I've got it. Maybe we can do the dress thing because we can't find enough. But I think we should find like a group of like the local Marines or, you know, Verda Kappa or whatever, and jump them in an alley and take their uniforms.
I like that idea. Better than dress. Better than dresses.
I'm sorry, I missed. Why do we need to bebop around here still?
Because there's a space that we have to cross to get to the ship, and it's filled with
Ah, gotcha.
like problems. So I mean, we could try to just sneak, but I don't know how well that'll go. It sounded like there's going to be at least a portion of it that we'll have to cross. That's open ground. Any other bright ideas?
I think that's as good as any.
Yeah. Okay.
So if we don't find enough uniforms, perhaps the ones that don't have a uniform could pose as a prisoner. That I don't think a patrol of Marines escorting a prisoner anywhere would be questioned by many.
Or
What,
also
onto
like,
a merchant vessel.
yeah, Nicola also has her, like I said, she could pose as like a university professor or like an academic who is seeking out, because I would assume merchant vessels might also take passengers every so often, right? Like if there's no like charter that's going out that day, they, you know, might be, so she could be on a.
Did we have disguises when we got off our boat?
Yeah, you
Thought we
disguised.
all had Verda Kappa uniforms already from the Bite of Justice.
I thought we were all. I believe you called me Doc Fisher, so I think.
Oh, that's right. We had aliases and everything.
Mhm.
Did we have disguises along with it?
I think you had rudimentary disguises for sure. Like you, because you
Like a
came,
fake mustache.
like you came off because you knew you were coming into the city. You could already tell that, like before anything even happened, that security had gone up. So you did disguise yourselves enough to leave your ship. You disguise yourself as merchants or various people. So I'm assuming you still have that with you right now. Of course, you're a little bit more scruffy and bloody and dirty now, having done what you've done in the sewers. I think for the Verda Kappa, I believe there was only 1 or 2 uniforms that you pilfered from the ship previously.
Well, I mean, if we do get stopped, I mean, it seems like there's quite a bit of ruckus going on. So to say that we got like in the middle of something, we're just trying to get the fuck out of here now. We're kind of fucking done. Like, look at me. I got my ass beat. He got his ass beat, pointing to Argus, who's concussed and otherwise indisposed.
Is there anything around like any kind of charcoal or lamp black or anything like with soot that we could use to like put on ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. You're already partially covered in soot yourself. But...
Right.
And to be fair, I'm a very, very good liar.
Excellent.
So
I think we could put some soot on ourselves and just claim that we're running from the fire. Like we were caught in the fire and we escaped, but we are trying to get the hell out of here. And that will explain a lot of our cuts and bruises and the fact that we look disheveled. Hopefully.
So GM is using a story point right now. So as you're talking, oops, I have to, 1 second, please. So as you're talking amongst yourselves about how to get through and the best course of action at this point, you guys hear a strange sound. It's like a ship passing very close by overhead. Strange as in, I mean, this is the dock area, so you'd hear it, but this seems extremely low for a ship itself. And then you hear grinding and scraping. And as you look up, you see one of these ships is kind of careening out of control and has struck one of the buildings very close to where you're at. This building is starting to topple and debris is starting to rain down. I need you guys, each of you, to make me a coordination check to dodge out of the way of some of the falling debris. This will be a difficulty 2 with a setback because of the nighttime and chaos.
Surprisingly, I got 1 advantage.
Okay.
I'm fucking killing it. I got like 2 successes, 2 advantage.
So it's 2 successes, 2 advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are going to dodge out of the way, and you can describe what you want to do with your advantage. I'll let you think about that. Nicola, you did not dodge out of the way in time, but you have an advantage. Anybody else?
Oh, what is it we roll?
A coordination.
Coordination, gotcha.
Yeah, against 2 purples and a black.
I ended up with a total of a single threat.
Okay, so you also failed to dodge out of the way with a threat.
Yep.
So I got, let's see, 1 success but 2 failures, so 1 failure overall. I got 2 threats and 1 advantage, and 1 triumph.
So you got a success and a triumph?
Yes.
Okay, so that's
No, actually, I did get a success, but it was canceled out by 1 of the failures.
Okay, but you rolled a success and a triumph and a failure. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's actually 2 successes and 1 failure. So you have succeeded, and then you said you had what, 2 threat?
2 threat and 1 advantage.
Okay, so you'll end up with 1 success, 1 advantage, and 1 triumph. So you also managed to get out of the way of the falling stuff. We'll come back to you about your advantage and your triumph. Ephriam, how did you roll?
It was a wash.
So you completely 0? Okay, so you also did not make it out. Okay, so those of you who failed, so Ephriam, Nicola, and Fisk, you are going to take 5 wounds, but you can subtract your soak from this. Nicola, so Mr. Fisk, we'll start with you because your threat is that not only do you take that damage, but you are also now pinned. Okay. Nicola, you got hit, but what would you like to do with your advantage?
Could I use my advantage to have put myself close to the proximity of Fisk?
Sure.
To be able to be there to help him out.
Sure. And Argus, you succeeded, but you also have an advantage and a triumph. How would you like to use those?
With the I guess with the triumph, would I be able to pull Delagny with me, or maybe I see it coming and I managed to push him and myself out of the way, perhaps into a small alcove that's maybe covered or confined enough that the debris doesn't hit us.
So you're going to push yourself and Delagny into this alcove?
Yes.
A protected alcove. Okay. I would say also with that triumph, not only that, but you maybe find something that you could use to help Mr. Fisk with his problem. Like, so maybe you found, I don't know, some sort of pole or something that you could be used as a leverage against Mr. Fisk, because you got a triumph. So
Cool. Yeah, I would grab the pole and yell at Delagny to help me with Fisk on the next round.
And Charlie, I'm sorry, did you just get success? Is that right?
I had 2 successes, 2 advantage.
Okay, so what would you like to do with your advantage?
I am going to. Would it be possible for me to, like in my evasive role, kind of like, I guess it's hard to explain, like somewhat clear path for us to escape through?
Okay, yeah. So with your 2 advantages, you noticed an escape route that would get you not only like away from this, but closer to your ship without being
Like,
spotted, because this
Maybe just pointing to get everyone's attention away from us.
yeah. Okay, so I'll let you guys no need to roll initiative at this point, but I will let you deal with what's happened. Mr. Fisk is pinned. Argus has found some sort of, you can describe what you found to help him out. Charlie has noticed a way to the ship. The building that has been hit does not look very sturdy. It looks like it could come down even more at this point. The ship hit it pretty hard. So you do have a time constraint at this point.
I imagine what we found was maybe like a steam pipe that was going up the side of a building. Maybe it was going from the boiler room to an upper part, and with the crash, it's kind of broken loose a little bit. So I'm yelling at Delagny to help me pull this off so that we can go and maybe leverage the wreckage and allow Fisk to crawl out or get dragged out by Nicola.
Perfect. Give me an athletics check. Ephriam, if you are helping him, are you skilled in athletics as yourself?
I am.
Okay, so what we'll do in this case, since you're both doing it, is you use the higher of your skill and the higher of the brawn for a roll. A one-person roll, but you use the higher of each of yours. So,
Okay.
so example,
Like,
Ephriam, what do you have in athletics?
I have a 2 in athletics and then a 2 in brawn.
Okay, and Argus, what is yours?
I'm a 2 in brawn and a 1 in athletics. I think you'd win in both of those instances.
Yeah, so yeah, you'll use a 2 and a 2. If depending on who wants to do the roll, it doesn't matter. Whoever's doing the roll will use, so it'll be 2 yellow for whoever's going to roll.
Argus, you want to do the honors since you're rolling better than me today?
And it'll be against 2 purple.
2 purple, 2 yellow, 2 purple. Here we go. That is a complete wash. I got 4 advantages and 4 threats.
Okay, you are unable at this point to pull that off. It doesn't budge, and since it's a complete wash, nothing happens.
I am still hurt, so.
Nicola, and Mr. Like, there's Charlie, Nicola, and Mr. Fisk. Is there anything you guys would like to do at this point?
Yeah, Nicola is gonna try and get him out.
Yeah,
maybe a different way, like kind of just like trying to a combination of pulling and like pushing the thing back and like trying to just like kind of wriggle him out.
Yeah, and Fisk wants to help her do that.
Okay, so again, we'll do this will be athletics and brawn. So because you both are working on it, take the highest of each of those. It's just like we did with Ephriam and Argus. And Charlie, what are you doing at this point?
I mean, I guess I'm keeping an eye out for anyone paying attention to us.
Okay, we will come back to you then. So it's you guys can choose who wants to do the role between you, Nicola, or you, Captain Fisk. But you use the highest athletics and the highest brawn between.
Yeah, I'm cool with Nicola rolling it. That's fine.
Okay. Well, yeah.
My brawn and athletics are both a 4.
Oh, then you should probably roll because I have a 4 brawn but no athletics.
Yes, it doesn't. Either of you can roll. It will be
okay.
4 versus, and the dice that you'll be using will be, in this case, I guess 4 yellow.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's way cooler if you do it with your mechanical arm. So
Yeah.
I was about to say, is the surgeon a weightlifter? That's awesome.
She's
On one
really
side.
strong.
This will be a difficulty 3.
Okay.
Because this is hard.
Okay. Do I get like a boost die or anything? Or
No, you're going to be using basically Mr. Fisk's.
okay, so just
abilities.
4 yellows then.
Yeah, 4 yellows against 3 purples.
Okay.
Unless you have something else that you can add. And you have story points, which
I think it'd be really cool if you guys don't mind to use a story point, because like I just love the idea of like Argus and Delagny trying to like lift him out, and then Nicola just kind of comes in and was like,
Yeah. Delagny looks at her and like, well, fuck me. See, we just needed to ask the lady the whole time. And see.
So with a story point, if you upgrade your roll, you're already at 4 yellows, so this will add a green die to your pool.
Cool. Okay. Oh damn. Okay. What a weird roll. So that's 6 success and 5 threat.
Okay. Okay, so this is how I'm thinking it's going to go down. So Argus and Ephriam are over in the building trying to rip this pipe off and having no luck. Meanwhile, Nicola comes over with her mechanical arm, and she heaves and groans a little bit, and she manages to remove this huge beam that has fallen across Mr. Fisk's legs and pinned him down. It's almost like with ease, 6 successes. So it's almost like looks like a toothpick in your hand for the ease that it is that you rip it out. However, this thing, Mr. Fisk, had actually impaled you. So she is ripping it out of your body. You will take, I'm going to say 3 wounds. Bypasses your soak because it was already in you.
He cries out as you kind of move it. I think there might be like a moment's hesitation where like you've lifted it enough out of the way to be able to like see that it's actually, impaled me. And he just kind of looks at you with this seriousness, and like his face is quaking and going like pale. Don't stop. Do not stop. Do it. He just kind of grits his teeth and screams through the rest of it.
Yeah, I think that even Nicola would her eyes are closed at that. She can't look. Despite being a doctor, this is a little bit more than she ever thought, just pulling out a beam out of someone. And so she would actually look away.
And with that, Mr. Fisk, you can scramble painfully backwards, but out from underneath this beam that has got you pinned. Meanwhile, Charlie, you are on the lookout keeping an eye on the things that are going down in the dock square kind of in front of you. Make me a perception check, please. Difficulty 2 with 1 setback because it's dark and cloudy now.
That'll be a wash.
Okay.
So I think maybe I'm just looking at Fisk like, oh God, damn, you got fucked up.
There's a whole lot of jokes about taking the whole piece of wood, but I don't think now's the time.
Well, shit, Captain Fisk, if you ever need to poop out of another hole, you got one right there.
He's kind of looking from one to the other, and you can see that like shock is starting to set in, and he's kind of like halfway laughing, but it's clear that he's not entirely processing.
Wow.
Scheffley lets out an uncharacteristic chuckle at these two.
August, we're not still fucking happy with you. You shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, there's no room for laughter right now.
Should have been you under there.
And my eyes narrow at Charlie.
Narrow your eyes all you want, and I'll fucking kick your ass right here, mate.
Delagny busies himself while these two are going at it. He kind of starts leaning over by Fisk, trying to help him up. Anyway, you two keep going.
Yeah, I push myself off of Delagny, draw my sword with one hand and kind of like push back my bloodied hair with the other. You have something to say to me, sir.
Charlie pulls out his gun. Yeah, I'll fucking kill you, mate. You fucked us.
How close am I to Charlie right at the moment?
If you're gonna take a swing, aim for my bad hand. At least maybe I'll lose these fucking fingers.
I would say you are well within closing, like you could close. You're not actually next to him, so you couldn't hit him with your sword right now, but you could move to hit if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm absolutely moving to get right in Charlie's face.
I'm shooting him in the leg.
All right, Charlie, make me a check. The difficulty is 2 because he had not closed with you yet. Sorry. Yeah. Difficulty is 2. And that's that. So
Gunnery?
Not gunnery.
Or ranged?
This would be ranged. Yeah. Gunnery is for like the cannons on the ship.
Big guns.
Oh, that's even better. As out of character, sorry, Jason, but
this is great.
In character, I'm going to use my Touched by Fate to give me 2 boost die. Oh,
Well, doing that, can I lean over to
I'm so sorry.
That's 4 successes.
You're gonna kill the man while his daughter's in the room. That's messed up, man.
Four successes and 1 advantage.
Okay, so I would say this advantage, unless you can choose to what you want to do with it, but you could also heal the strain if you needed to. Throw that out there. 4 successes. So that you were using a pistol, right?
Yeah.
So that's 9 damage, 9 wounds against Argus, minus your soak.
So that brings me to my threshold.
Okay, so I believe.
So also a quick question. I have +6 to damage. And what does the 4 in crit mean?
Okay, it's not +6. A pistol is just straight 6 damage.
Well, mine's a flintlock. If that makes any difference.
No, it should
This
still
is
be
what I
just
have. This is
straight.
just what I have.
Yeah, it should just straight be 6. Unlike like the melee weapons you add to your brawn rating, ranged ones just have a straight damage. And then
Gotcha.
the 4 is how many advantages you need to inflict a critical.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Oh, you have a flintlock pistol, right?
Yeah.
Should have been. It should say accurate 1.
Yep.
Yeah. So that is a boost die. Sorry. So you can roll a boost die as well, in case it changes something.
2 more advance. Just shy of a crit.
Okay. So you have 3 advantage that you can choose to how you want to spend them.
Can I like have him stumble into my arms and I'm just gonna like throw him up into a fireman's carry?
Sure. I will let him
Is there another story point?
Oh, absolutely. So I just want to say too, your wounds, if you're at your threshold, you are still conscious, but if you take 1 more wound, you will fall unconscious and take a crit. So you're fine at this point. Well,
If he's not unconscious, then I'm not gonna.
yeah, he is not unconscious at this point. But you could pull him closer to you if you wanted to, or however you want to spend those 3 advantage.
Delagny would like to look over at Nicola and say, Death's head upon a mop stick is our captain right now. I believe you're in charge, lady. Take fucking control of your fucking crew. With all due respects, of course, pretty girl.
He literally is like holding up like the beam that is like, I can imagine too that she took it out of Fisk and it is like millimeters from his stomach from just going back down, and she looks at Delagny.
I'm just saying that you're in charge now.
I would like to use a story point to take a swipe as I'm falling into his arms. And my goal is to cut off the black hand.
Okay, so right before you do that, I'd like to resolve Charlie's 3 advantage.
For sure.
Where? 3 advantage. Can I use my advantage to disarm him?
Yeah, you absolutely can. That's 3 advantage. You can disarm.
I'm sorry, I'm really working against you here, Argus. But
oh no, it's fine. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Just remember.
Okay, so he disarms you, Argus. I have not used the story point. I did not spend that on you because you may want to change what you do now. That's up to you.
Okay. So I won't be able to swipe because he's trying to disarm me, right?
He successfully did disarm you.
Right. Can I take a finger at least? I want a finger.
You could bite his finger if you want.
Yes. I want to bite the black finger.
I hope your mouth turns black.
Okay. So story point, if you want to use a story point, I'll put it over there, and I'm not even going to make you roll. You just bite his finger off as you fall into him.
Yes.
Ah! Son of a... I can't even be real mad because I already said I wanted this.
Well, one of you ingrates, get over here and pull out your captain.
I spit his finger in his face.
Hits my metal mask and kind of like tink, hits the ground. Well, that's just childish, mate. As I'm like holding stump finger.
Argus.
I'm trying to stop the bleeding in my leg right at the moment.
Argus, I need you to make me a resilience check.
Resilience.
Resilience. Yeah.
Excellent.
Against 2 purple.
2 green, 2 purple. Well, fuck you guys. I've got 1 success, 2 advantage, and 3 threats.
Okay. Okay, I will deal with that at a different time. I will keep it in mind. But thank you for the roll. That brings us to, we have Nicola, Ephriam, and Captain Fisk. What are you guys doing? What is...
Nicola would like to make it so that these beams are no longer at risk of pinning Captain Fisk. Like moving them or move him or something.
Throwing him clear of us.
Yeah, if Ephriam wants to help Mr. Fisk, I know Mr. Fisk was in the process of scooting backwards out. If Ephriam wanted to help him do that.
Yeah, I was going over to help him wherever. I was trying to get him away from, especially the fight that was now ensuing. It's like he didn't need to get caught by a wayward lead shot or something.
Okay, so in this case, I will say do an athletics check, please. This will be easy, so it'll just be 1 purple. And you will have a boost die because I'm sure Captain Fisk will not be trying to work against you on this one. So we'll have him working with you, which will give you a boost.
Two success and 2 advantage.
Okay, so you successfully pull him out. How would you like to spend the advantage?
Can I give it to Nicola to help her dispose of the wood that she's throwing?
Absolutely, that'll give her a boost die on her next skill check.
Actually, I think that Nicola would just set it down. Like if they're clear, she would just kind of put it back.
Okay, so we can use that those 2 advantages to give the next. Hold it in reserve for when you want to use it and give somebody a boost die. We'll have to somehow make it make sense because we're not really going in initiative order. So you have a boost die for the party.
I think once Nicola is free, she would help Delagny pick up Fisk and just say, "We're getting to the boat and we're getting there now."
Aye, aye. Come on, Stitch. Come on, you 2 fucking rabble rousers.
What is Stitch doing in all this? Watching.
He's probably used to it. I mean, he's been with crews before.
Yeah, I imagine he's pretty lithe. So he managed to dodge out of the way of the falling timbers as well, and has been looking out at the dock side, kind of where you were looking, Charlie, until your attention was taken by Captain Fisk. So he has been kind of making sure, like watching to see if there's anything that's going on out there, if there's a way to get to the ship, etc., etc. So what do you guys want to do now? There is some groaning coming from the building.
I think Nicola is just hightailing it with Fisk and Delagny and yelling at the 2 bumbleheads over there, Charlie and Argus, to just get to the ship. She says, if there's any guards who wants to question us, we can point to the hole in this. Whatever. Let's just go.
I pick up my finger.
I guess I'm gonna have to fucking drag myself like a paraplegic across the freaking pavement here.
Well, Stitch could probably help you.
Yeah, I'll grab you. I'm not like
no,
living,
swipe your arm off.
Well, you don't have a weapon. you bite me again, I will fucking kill you.
I would rather crawl.
Suit
Speaking of
yourself,
that,
mate.
Argus
you-
is a proud man.
I'm gonna go ahead and like lean down and like tap your thigh real good. You keep on that, mate.
speaking of Argus's dropped weapon, is anyone picking that up, or are you just leaving it there?
I would just leave it.
Yeah, Nicola's not worried about that.
Did Argus pick it up?
What, the finger? No.
No, the weapon. I mean,
No, I got my finger.
No, I can't imagine that I'd found my sword in time.
So I would imagine we start bolting toward the ship, and if the Verticappa come, I'm just looking at everybody. Just tell them about the hurt people over there.
Okay, so if you guys are bolting towards the ship, I will we'll make a group, either make a group stealth check, or somebody can make the stealth check for all of you. If one person makes the stealth check, then each additional success clears another one of the party members, or you all can do individual stealth checks. If two people are skilled in stealth, then we can do that whole
I am skilled in stealth, but I'm not like amazing. I don't know if there's anyone better.
I have nothing in stealth.
Nor do I, sadly.
My signature thing is that I'm loud, so I'm not very stealthy.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is, Charlie, this is all on you. You will make a roll. The difficulty will be hard. And this will determine how well you get across.
Okay,
roll.
so I have 3 agility and 1 pip, so that's
No
3.
pressure.
So 2 green and 1 yellow.
Okay.
And against 3 purple, you have story points if you want to upgrade.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so you can upgrade one of the greens to a yellow.
Okay. Do I have anything else in my kit that can help me? Can't really No, I can't. Okay. Got a lot of threats. 5 threats. 3 successes.
Okay, it's 3 successes. That so 3 of you do not get seen, but technically there's 3 of you left, so 3 of you will get seen.
Can Fisk, Argus, and Ephriam make it? And I think that Nicola, you're kind of needed on the ship.
With the threats, I'm gonna say actually that Nicola, Charlie, and Stitch make it across without being seen.
Well, I'm willing to not make it. Do I have to make it?
I'm gonna say if you got advantage, I would let you pick. I'm gonna say, yeah, you made it. And you look behind you and you notice that Argus, Mr. Fisk, or Captain Fisk, and Ephriam have been spotted. And there is a troop of Verticappa going after them to surround them.
I think at that, well, I mean, Nicola's kind of helping Fisk, so I don't. She's kind of
That's kind of my thing. It's like I'm not helping anybody.
Okay,
I'm not
sure.
assisting.
So
that's
we'll-
why I want to.
We'll retcon that. We'll say Nicola, Fisk, and Stitch made it across. You maybe seeing that Argus and Ephriam were, and we're not going to get it across, and this group was closing in on you, made, I don't know, a movement such that you got their attention and let the other three get past. And at this point, we will need to make initiative rolls, please. So this will be against vigilance. So everybody make the vigilance roll, please.
What's the difficulty?
Something-
What the hell am I asking? Sorry.
2 advantage for me.
I got 2 successes.
2 advantage, 1 success.
1 success, 3 advantage.
Yeah, just deciphering because the 2 of these are split together. I've got my Star Wars dice with my Genesys dice, and I keep blurring them. Sorry.
That's okay.
All right. So that's 2. So I ended up with 1 advantage.
1 advantage. Okay. So what this means is it's going to be NPC slot followed by 5 PC slots. I forgot to roll for Stitch. Okay, so that'll be a PC slot, NPC, and then 5 PC slots. So 1 PC goes first.
Did you say how many Verticappa were surrounding us or coming at us?
Looks like a group of about 5.
It's me and Delagny. Close to getting surrounded.
You, Delagny, and Charlie.
If you guys don't
I-
mind,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that Nicola would whirl around and just start marching up to these Verticappa with Fisk.
Well, before you do that, I am a very, very smooth talker. And
Okay, yes.
I can lie with the best of them.
Then that's probably the best.
So I just want to make sure I know what smooth talker does. Is smooth talker a just like standard Genesys thing, or is that one that you made?
No, it's probably standard, but I am not entirely sure. Let's quickly see here.
Because in my super detailed note taking, I did not write down what it was.
What level is it? What tier?
I think it's tier 1. It's
Tier
a
1.
stackable tier 1.
Okay.
It says when first acquired, choose 1 skill: charm, coercion, deception, or negotiation. When making skill checks, spend the sunburst with the circle around it to gain additional starburst. I guess those are successes. Let me just reference my. Yeah, you can spend triumph to convert to multiple successes, it looks like, to gain additional equal to ranks in smooth talker.
So I have 3 ranks in smooth talker. So if I get a triumph, I get 3 successes.
Yeah, that's
So-
what it looks like. You can burn it. You can exchange it for that. But I'm sorry, Karen, please.
That's okay.
Make the final.
I'm opening the doc. So
It looks like it's on page. Oh, there's no page numbers. Okay. It's in the skills.
Charlie, go ahead and roll. And okay, my thing is open. kind of open.
So I have a 4 in cunning and 2 pips. Is that 2 yellow and 2 green?
Yes.
Okay.
And I am going to use a story point die. No, I can't. This is silly. Oh yeah, no, I am totally. So you are. Okay, let's just get here. Smooth target. It's finally open. Smooth talker.
Ooh, I messed up because I can give everyone a blue die to their vigilance. I guess that's not like.
Okay, so you. Okay, yeah. So you are trying to deceive. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, I have something I want to say. Do you want me to say that first?
Go for it. But
Oh, thank goodness you guys have arrived, and I'm like holding my bloody hand. My mates are fucked up. There's a lot of fucked up people over there. I don't know what the fuck is going on up there. You guys need to do something. You need to help them. They're in trouble.
Okay, so I will roll. It's kind of a contested roll. So your deception versus their vigilance.
Okay.
Okay, so I will roll while you roll.
I got 4 advantage, 3 success.
Okay, I got 6 success, one of which is a triumph, and 3 advantage. So they beat you. They see right through your lies and are not interested. And they grab their weapons to combat. I will still let you do something, as you can see that this is not working. Your talking does not seem to...
Well, I want to be completely honest. These are like the worst town guards fucking ever. They're helping no one. And I'm going to say that. I'm going to say, you guys are the fucking worst if you think I'm a criminal. These people are hurt. And I'm going to use my clever retort ability to give them two threats.
2 threats on their next roll? Is that
Yeah.
how? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You may get your wish right now, Argus.
Oh no, they're not allowed to kill you. Only I can.
I don't think you get to choose, bud.
No. So they just look at you in your mask and with the blood on you and all this stuff, and something just doesn't sit well with them. They are not falling for your ruse here, and instead they, I guess in this case, one of them is within range, and they like basically have all their truncheons out, and one is going to try to hit you. So do you have any melee defense?
Absolutely. Actually, yes, I do. I think. I hope.
If you have
I think that's only if I have my sword out, and I don't have it out.
Don't have your sword. Yeah. Okay. So no defense at this point.
How does one die? Like you said that if you reach your threshold, you go unconscious?
Yeah, you go unconscious and you roll against the critical wounds chart.
Okay.
If you roll high enough, then you can die.
I might fucking die right now because I didn't heal any of my wounds from earlier.
You have to get something like over 100 on the D100 roll to die. So if you don't have any critical injuries.
So I'm about to just be maimed or otherwise fucked up even further.
Yeah. Okay, so that cancels. So we're left with basically a success, triumph, and advantage. So he hit you with the lightning truncheon. You are going to take that would be 4 points of damage, minus your soak. And I have to look up, it's got a disorient. Triggered. Oh, this is actually all stun damage, by the way, instead of wounds. So this will go against your strain. So it'll be 4 points against your strain. So you don't subtract soak. It's just 4 strain damage.
Perfect. Shooting Argus relaxed me. I'm good.
You're all good. Disorient 3, though. I just have to look that up.
Yeah, that I just got fucking hazed.
Yeah. Disorient.
Don't tase me, bro.
We're having a no good, very bad day.
What deal was it to come to this place again?
I think it was a group decision.
Hey, I was doing fine alone, and then you guys showed up, and now I'm gonna die.
Actually, to be fair, you were not doing fine. You were like tied up.
Hey, I had the situation under control, sir.
So, Charlie, you are disoriented for 3 rounds. So what that means is you have a setback die on all of your skill checks for the next 3 rounds.
Okay, so I think what happens is like that I get hit with these truncheons and it sparks off my metal mask, and like I basically get shocked in the face. I want to say that my mask is like beaten off and like revealed for potentially the first time is the eyelidless and lipless and mostly noseless, cheekless man that is Charlatan Charlie, who looks like he got into a fight with a paper shredder and lost.
Because of how beautiful that sounds, I am going to roll their discipline on that one at hard.
They also get 2 threats. Oh wait, unless you did that on their attack.
I did not do that on their attack. So I could do it on this one if you want, or I could do it on that one.
Just throw it on this one. No matter.
Okay. And I also seem to remember now that I forgot to actually resolve the triumph on the other roll. So we'll do that right after this happens. Okay, so they managed to succeed their will save. So though they are shocked at your visage, they do not tremble in fear or anything. This, I guess maybe the group, enough of them together, has sturdied their nerves. But for that triumph, I will make you roll against the crit chart. So roll a D100. What did you get, Charlie?
24.
Sorry, what?
24.
24. Okay, so makes sense. That hit, not only did it knock your mask off, but it also off-balanced you. So you have the crit off balance, which means you will also add another setback to your next skill check. So for your next skill check, you'll have 2 setback, and then you'll have 1 setback for the remaining 2 rounds after that. And mark down that you have critical injury 24 off balance.
Okay.
Okay, so that is PC and PC. We now have 5 PC slots,
I would run away.
one of which will be Stitch, and somebody can roll for them.
How far is the ship? Like, is it really far away, or?
You, Captain Fisk, and Stitch had made it to where you could basically board your ship. So you are probably medium range from the altercation that's happening, but you are right there by the ship. So that's up to you what you want to do.
Okay. Nicola, I think, would turn to the captain. Captain, maybe under your condition, it's not the best if you would go back. Maybe you should board the ship. Get everything ready to go.
Yes. yes, of course. Return shortly. Please, we must go. Kind of like help himself up the gangplank onto the ship and immediately start telling them to load and run out the guns.
Perfect.
Prepare to weigh anchor.
Nicola is going to start running back.
Okay. Stitch is going to call out for you, saying, "Don't go! Come, my daughter, come!" And he is going to go up onto the ship, following Captain Fisk.
Yeah, I think she would even call out to make sure that Fisk doesn't die, essentially.
Okay. So, Nicola, you can, with a move, you can go from the medium to short. So you could, at this point, shoot if you'd want, or you could engage. By taking 2 strain, you could engage, and then you could attack.
I think that Nicola is going to take the 2 strain.
Okay.
Because she does not have a gun with her, purposefully. Yeah, she's just gonna punch one of the Verticappa.
Okay. Give me that brawn check.
All right. And I got some cool new stuff. Okay, so she is going to has this guy taken his turn yet?
Yes. Yeah, all of the, and yeah, they're one minion group. So
okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. So that's just a brawn?
Yeah, so it'll be difficulty is 2.
Brawl, right?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
right, brawl.
Yeah. Okay, so I got 2 success and 1 advantage, and I'm going to I add 1 damage per rank to 1 hit of a successful attack. So I got 2 success, 1 advantage. And the damage of punching, we had agreed that it would be brass knuckles equal to.
Yeah.
The damage is +1.
So
and
it's
I've disorient 3.
Yeah, so it's brawn +1 plus the additional successes. So that's the total.
So my brawn is 4. So that's 5 plus 2.
Yeah, because you said you got 3 successes?
2 successes and an advantage.
So then it's 1 additional.
Okay, so that's 6, right? Plus +1 damage per rank of feral strength. Right?
Yeah.
Because
So
I have feral, this thing called feral strength.
and you have 1 rank in it.
Yes.
Yeah. So that would be 7 damage.
And then she's going to spend a story point. Because I kind of figured that if she can punch this guy out, it would make kind of an opening, right? Is that
Right.
how that it would go? So she's going to spend a story point to add damage equal to my character's rank in the characteristic.
Okay. So what's your rank in? So that's an additional.
So my rank in Brawl is 3.
So an additional 3 points. So we're at 10 damage. And you
Yes.
said it's disorient 3.
Yes.
So not only that, but they'll be disoriented for 3 rounds.
And crit 4. So I don't know what that is.
You had to have 4 advantage to
Okay. Yep.
crit.
Cool. Okay.
So 10 damage, and it's not stun damage, right? This is straight wounds,
Yes.
right? Okay. So 10 minus. So one of the guys crumples. You can describe how that is, how that looks.
I imagine you see Nicola just kind of marching up, and she yells, "Hey, Kappa assholes!" And she just, like, the one guy just turns around and she just clocks him.
Yeah, he's probably pretty surprised at seeing you because you're still dressed in your university clothes. Right? He's not even suspecting this, and he just gets clocked, and you can just see the eyes in his head just kind of roll back, and he falls to the ground, slumped.
And yeah, she's going to look to the others. Get out if you can. Just hopefully they can get out of this little opening.
Okay, that.
Hey, you Kappa assholes, real smooth.
You try thinking of something on the fly.
Face, meet fist.
So we'll go back to Captain Fisk because you said you would like to maybe take a pot shot from the deck.
Yeah, so I don't know action economy wise how it works out for me to try to get the crew preparing the ship for sailing out. If that takes my action to do so, or my maneuver, whatever it's called in this setting or system.
I would say you moved right up to the ship. Now, depending if you want to take an active role in getting them to go, or if you just want to yell at them, like if you just want to yell at them and get them going, then I would say that's kind of a free action, in which case you still have your, you could attack. But if you want to be a little bit more active about giving out orders, then you'd have to take 2 strain to attack.
Okay. I will take the 2 strain because it only really makes sense with kind of the predicament that I'm in right now anyways, that this would be stressful. So yeah, he's definitely, for the most part, just yelling at the crew, just telling them to ready to weigh anchor, load the guns and run them out. But he is meanwhile making his way to the prow of the ship. And he's pulling out his blunderbuss. And if I can reach that point and be able to reach distance-wise or range-wise one of these Verticappa, then I would like to take a shot.
Okay, so you're going to go up the gangplank and then to the prow of the ship?
Just wherever the closest point on the deck to where they are, essentially. So the shortest distance between the ship and the Verticappa.
Yeah, I would say it's probably as soon as you reach up to the up top of and you're on deck, you could probably turn around, and that's probably your shortest distance right then. There.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So then yes, you could shoot this time.
Okay, cool. Let's see. That's ranged.
Yes, and
agility based. Okay.
You are medium, so it will be difficulty of 2, but I am using a story point to upgrade one of that. So you will roll a red and a purple.
Okay. So my agility is only a 2, but I have a ranged of 4. So that's still 2 yellow and 2 green.
Yes.
Okay. and then 1 purple and 1 red.
Red. Yeah.
Those cancel each other out. The X's, take these away. So that is 1 success and 2 advantages.
Okay, so you do your weapon damage, no bonuses on that, just
Okay. It does a damage of 8.
whew.
Oh, it does have an accuracy of 1. I forgot that.
Okay, so then roll a boost die.
That's a blue die. Okay.
Yeah.
It was blank, so nothing extra.
Okay, so you say 8 damage.
Yes, 8 damage.
Okay, so you drop another one. You can describe that, and you said also you got advantage.
Yes, there was two advantages.
Okay, so you can choose how you want to spend those.
Let's see. Perform a free maneuver. Okay, I'm gonna do a bonus die to anybody's next check.
Okay, so
Just one of our people.
okay. Yeah, so you can describe how one of these guys fall.
Okay, so blunderbuss is like a muzzle loaded. Okay, so he gets up to the gangplank, he shouts out these orders, and he's already kind of loading this blunderbuss off of his shoulder. And as he's finished shouting out to the crew, he turns around, and if memory serves, I think ships sometimes have these little things you can insert into the like where the belaying pins usually go, and it has like a little, like a U-shaped crook that you can put a gun in to help you aim. So that's what he's going to do. With his side hurting, he's just not able to fully extend his arm out to hold the gun. So he puts it and rests it in that and kind of pivots and waits until Nicola punches one of them. The guy falls out of the way, and one of them kind of steps back away from the group as this guy falls kind of in his path. And the moment that he kind of isolates himself from the crowd, there's just this like shot ring out, this report, and one side of his head just explodes in crimson, and he just kind of like follows to the ground.
Perfect. So that brings us to, I believe Argus and Delagny have not yet gone this round. So who would like to go next?
Could I do anything besides just stand up? I mean, I'm at my threshold.
Yeah,
Wound-wise,
You're not prone or anything. You're still standing, so you can do anything at this point, like whatever you want.
I thought I was down from Charlie's shot.
No, you are on the brink of going down. If you take any
Okay.
more wounds, you will.
And how many do I have surrounding me?
There are 3 left.
3 left. And Nicola opened up an opening for us to run. Yes?
Yeah, basically she's got a distraction. So you can use that to hightail it out if you want. They weren't expecting this punch from behind. And so she punched one, and another one has quickly fallen from our Captain Fisk's shot. So you can do whatever. You can book it if you want.
Do they have a sword? The one that's down?
No, you can see that they all had out these truncheons. That is what they're carrying. They also have, it looks like a gun holder as well, or at least like flintlocks on each of their hips, kind of thing. But at this point, they were all holding out their truncheons.
Can I pick up one of the truncheons and try to tase the closer one to me?
Absolutely. So the one that one of them is no longer sparking, but the one where the guy got shot in the head, his is still sparking. So you can see that it is primed and ready to go.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd like to swoop down, take that, and just maybe uppercut the guy in the chin with it.
Okay, so make me a melee check. This will be, it's 2 purple. I am going to also use a story point again to make that a purple and a red.
Okay, so I have 3 in melee and 2 brawn. How does that work out?
You will be rolling 2 yellow dice and 1 green one, as well as a red and a purple. There is a boost die available if you want to take it or if you want to leave it for Delagny.
I'll leave it for Delagny because I've got 2 of these. Yeah. All right. Well, that is really cool. 3 successes, 2 failures, and a triumph.
Okay, so that gives you in total 2 successes with the triumph left over, because the triumph counts as a success and as well. Okay, so with the truncheon, it's your brawn plus 2. So what is your brawn?
2, so 4.
So 4 plus you have an additional success, so you will do 5 wounds. This is stun damage, so it goes against their strain. So basically what happens though is you knock out this guy.
Excellent. And if I can put any kind of distance between me and the others, I'd like to.
Yes, and you'll also notice that your no, it's still fine. It's still sparking at this point. Yeah, you can move towards the ship. You can get to the gangplank, but you won't be able to actually get up it this time.
Okay.
You can get there. Delagny.
So with the last 2 of them, you say they're next to each other?
They're around you. Not so much next to each other. I mean, they can be depending on how you're moving around.
Okay.
But
So my idea is that I want to take one of them and grab him by the ear and then slam his head into the other guy with basically just take their heads and knock them together.
Okay.
I mean, that would be athletics or melee. I mean,
it'll be brawl.
Kind of okay.
Yeah, so it'll be a brawl check. Damage will be improvised weapons because you're using one guy's head against the other guy. So if you succeed, we'll do that. So for brawl, you need to roll 2 purple die. I am also going to put another story point. You guys used a lot, so I'm going to do another one. So you'll be rolling a red and a purple. Plus you had the boost die from Captain Fisk. So you want to use that as well.
Okay. So I have 1 success and 2 advantage. As I reach over and I grab one of his heads and I say, "You should have listened to the unlit cub. He may be jattering like a fucking monkey, but he's speaking sense." Wham! These 2 heads smashed together.
Okay, so I'm going to say, what is your brawn?
Since it's a melee check, I get to use my agility instead, and I have a 3 in agility. So
that's for the check, but your actual brawn is?
Oh, my actual brawn is 2.
Okay, so you're going to do be 4 wounds to this as you bang one into the other. So they kind of stumble, but neither of them fall from that.
Okay, and Argus beat feet, right? He's making his way to the ship. Okay.
Yes, so there's just you, Charlie, and Nicola there with these 2 other guys.
How long as best I could?
That's fine. Yeah, you got a leg wound, and otherwise. So yeah, so he's going to square off and he's going to start balling up his fists, and you hear the cracking of the as he's just like, come get some.
Perfect. That brings us back to the top of the order. We have one PC slot before they will go. Who would like to take it?
I don't want it.
Aren't you the last one to go?
He went first last time, so everybody's gone in this round. So now we're starting a new round. So
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
yeah, we got a PC slot. It's up for grabs. Anybody can take it.
It shouldn't be Fisk because he's going to have to reload.
Delagny? I mean, you're still in the thick of it.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to rear back and just punch.
Okay.
He's going to do like punching at one and then punching the other. He's going to try hitting the two he just knocked in the head. So.
Okay, so this is again brawl. So your brawl difficulty is 2 purple. I'm not upgrading it at this time.
Well, for the second one, it's going to be different, right?
You're basically hitting them both at the same time with 1 hit. That's kind of how,
Okay.
because they're one creature, yeah.
One success, one advantage.
Okay, this time you're punching, right?
Yeah.
You don't have any weapons in your hands, right? It's just your fists. Like you don't have brass knuckles or anything?
Nope. I mean, I could say that I put my collapsible baton in one hand that makes the punch a little harder, but I didn't say that. So
Okay, we'll just go straight brawn then. How much damage is that?
I have 2 brawn, so
2 brawn. So you connect, but it does not seem to do any, like you connect with both of them, boom, boom, but it doesn't seem to, they shake their heads, kind of shake off the damage. It doesn't seem to do any, like affect them as much as you had hoped it would. They maybe are related to stone jaw, strong jaw or something.
And as he's standing there, he's thinking about it. He's like, maybe I need to kick him in the nuts then.
Rochambeau for it.
Okay, that brings us to their turn. So they are going to go back to you, I guess, Ephriam. You're right there in their face. You just knocked their heads together. They got it out for you. So they are going to level their truncheons and come at you. Do you have any melee defense on your sheet?
I don't think so, because I'm just wearing a heavy clothing or a jacket that has 1 soak. So
okay, yeah. So they do have a setback die though for being disoriented from the hits. So we will roll and 2 success, 1 threat. So they do manage to hit you. So that will be 5 points of stun damage. So that goes straight to your soak. Straight to your strain. Bypasses soak, goes straight to your strain, and you are disoriented for 3 rounds. And that brings us now back to all the PCs. So everybody gets a chance to go except for Delagny, who has already gone. So I'll let you tell me who goes next.
I would like to board the ship. Perhaps get in contact with the captain and the crew about maybe manning some guns.
Okay, so you board the ship and you're going to start helping man the guns. Okay, perfect.
Or at least, barking orders at those that should be manning the guns.
Okay, next PC slot we have Captain Fisk, Nicola, and Charlie.
Who is still in this fray of Verticappa?
There is Charlie, Ephriam, you, and 2 Verticappa.
Nicola's gonna punch another Verticappa.
Okay. Difficulty 2, so 2 purple.
Just like, what are you guys doing? Leave, get to the ship. She's gonna punch. Okay. You said 2 purple?
Yeah.
Okay. That is 5 success.
Woo! So, I've forgotten how much damage you add. So that's an additional 4 points on top of what you would normally do with your weapon.
Okay. Sorry. I have to go through this again and again. But so I guess I have a permanent now +2 with the feral strike to my brawl and melee attacks.
Yeah, what does it say in the description? I don't remember it.
So it says add 1 damage per rank of feral strength to 1 hit of a successful attack made using brawl or melee. And it's a passive.
Okay, yeah, so you permanently have this an additional +1 damage.
Okay, so then I guess I'd have +2 now.
Yeah, 1 from your arm itself and 1 from that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So then my brawn, which is 4, 6, and then how many do I get?
4 extra because you rolled 5 successes.
So that's another 10.
Yeah, 10, and this is all wound damage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
and disorient 3.
Yeah, that's not actually going to matter because you can describe how this flurry of blows that you're doing with your arm knocks out the other 2 of them.
So yeah, Nicola, I can imagine that with her human arm, she's like blocking some of these attacks by the truncheons from the Verticappa, and as cheesy as this is going to be, it's going to she takes the scruff of the one and punches it, and the other Verticappa is coming up behind her, and you know the thing where she just like comes up from behind and hits the one behind her, like any cheesy movie.
I love that. Yeah, so they have all fallen. The rest of you're effectively out of combat at this point, so you're free to do what you want right now. Just let me know what you're planning on doing.
I need to buy you a drink there, Nicola. And remind me never to arm wrestle you.
I think Fisk calls down from atop the gangplank. Gather the uniforms. Bring them aboard quickly.
Yeah, Delagny doesn't even he doesn't miss a beat. He's right down, pilfering through them, helping himself.
Yep. Nicola would as well.
So are you stripping them or are you just pulling their bodies to the ship?
Which do we think would take more time?
I think it.
Faster
Sorry,
to pull him to the ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think taking pants off
unfortunately.
would be.
Yeah,
It depends.
I'm pretty fast, but
We can take them on, take their clothes, and then throw them overboard.
I'm gonna pick him up and like line him up with the 3 of us, maybe like Weekend at Bernie's and start walking them.
It's like a can line.
Right. We're just rushing our way over to the ship. At least we can get 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And maybe, yeah, we can at least get 4 of them. And we'll pilfer the 5th guy before we drag him away.
Okay, so effectively you'll end up with 5 lightning truncheons, because Argus actually has one, right? So in total you'll have 5 lightning truncheons, so 4 on these bodies. Argus already has one, and 5 flintlock pistols, 5 at this point actually pretty good uniforms, because the only shot was a headshot. So these are otherwise everything was mostly like a bludgeoning damage or whatever. So these suits are in pretty good condition. So that's a A+. What do you do with the bodies at this point? Because they may not all be dead necessarily.
They're dead now.
Okay, so at some point you will slice their throats, ship them off the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to take a little break right there, because I gotta go take some carrots for some business. We'll take a break for about 5 minutes, and then we'll get back and finish out this session. So I'll see you guys in.
Just quick question.
Sure.
How long do you think the rest of it's going to be? I'm not trying to rush, but
Oh yeah, it's based on time. Not very long, because I have to be done about in like half an hour to 45 minutes.
okay, same.
Well, I mean, if it's going to be like a half hour or so, do you want to take the break, or you want to try to wrap it up real quick here?
Yeah, we could do that. Okay, so I can hold for a few more minutes.
Well, I mean, if you got to go,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not saying
We can
hold your
take
bladder,
like
goddammit.
a 3-minute water room break.
we can banter and fill time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Role play. I'll be right back.
Oh,
Karen, you got to hold it, damn it.
I realize
you have
how
a job to
dickish
do.
that's. I didn't mean to come across so assholeish. I need a light.
I love playing playing pirates.
Nicola, we're gonna need to work on your witty retorts there, because
Would you like me to make a list? Write them down, and refer to them as I'm running for.
get a pen.
Oh God. Megan, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I guess the heart on your sweatshirt is green.
It is.
You have a hole in your chest.
How fitting.
Every time you rock backwards, I'm like, damn, that looks horrible. It's like this big gaping wound in your chest.
I know.
She took a shot to the chest for you people.
I did see it, but I liked it because it's in the shape of a heart.
I
that
love
shows
it.
I have
It's
no
hilarious.
heart.
I said earlier in the chat, I was like, Megan's heart is empty.
A loving memory of my heart and where it used to be.
My son thinks that the green screen stuff is beyond amazing. He'll run in here with every piece of green clothing that he has and like stand in front of the camera and like, look, now I don't have a head. Yeah, but you can't see anything. He's just endlessly entertained with it.
Gonna get a green cloak. You could have the cloak of invisibility.
I want to get him one of the bodysuits, the full bodysuits. It's like
The
a
yeah.
green
suits,
color.
yeah.
He would love it.
All right, we are back. Thank you for waiting. So you guys have drug these bodies on board. You are in the process of dealing with looting their bodies, getting your ship ready to go. Well, I assume you're getting your ship ready to go. I know you guys were getting the guns ready. Let me know what you are all doing at this point.
The captain is putting pressure on whoever he needs to get out of here as soon as possible.
His wound?
That too.
Yeah, I'd say tending to my wounds is probably my top priority for Argus. I'm pretty beat up. Explosions, shots to the knee. You know, I used to be an adventurer once.
I didn't cripple you. I'm not horrifically mean. I just shot you in the leg.
Let's not argue about who killed who and who shot who.
And as actually we're doing this, because I forget every single time, each of you can roll to recover some strain from that encounter there. So that is a, what was it, discipline or
Cool,
cool?
right?
I think it was two, discipline or cool.
Do I use setbacks for those? Or is that kind of
Yes.
circumvented? Okay.
Yes, you are, I would say yes, you have that again. And so does Ephriam.
Did I just do the last couple of combats wrongly? Because I've got no strain, but I'm at my threshold for wounds.
No, that's normal. These guys got strained because they were hit with stun damage. So yeah, so Charlie, you have 2 setbacks, and Ephriam, you have 1 for this roll. And so any success that you get that isn't canceled is how many strain you heal.
And there's no difficulty or setback dice that go with this, right? It's just
Not for you. Yeah, like there's no difficulty at all, and they only have setbacks because they got disoriented. They got hit with that.
right. And it's discipline or cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a triumph and an advantage then.
So the triumph I'm adjudicating as that'll be 2.
2 wounds?
2 strain.
2 strain.
Yeah. And the advantage doesn't, in this case,
Doesn't do
play
anything.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would imagine as Ephraim's feet start hitting the deck and he hears the wheels of the guns being moved into place, in a way, it almost resets his strain and brings his mind back to the moment of where he is and what's going on, because that's his gig. And he immediately looks to the captain and the bleeding, and he says, "I've got the guns, sir." And he immediately goes and makes sure that the preparations are in place and that they're ready to just fucking unload if anybody just, so everything is in place and ready to just shoot our way out if we have to.
Fisk will call after him as it's clear that Ephraim's kind of taking charge. Hold off on opening the ports for the time being. We need to maintain our guys as a merchant vessel as long as we can.
I got you, sir. And he goes, and he winks at him, and he goes down and he says, "Unlatch the ports. Don't open them."
What skill is it to fly the ship?
Takes operating.
Ideal.
That would be my purview.
I think Argus is the smooth operator, right?
I am the smooth operator.
Then Charlie's looking for a bag.
Yeah, he's been missing a bag for a while.
I'm missing a lot of things, my guy.
Not to mention
Most of my face. Yeah. Now a finger. And most of my... I'm fucking deformed now.
Fucking ragamuffin.
He cut my ear off.
Why the ear, man?
Okay, so Charlie, you are looking for a bag. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Argus, what are you doing?
I suppose my my gunshot wound is tied up. I am on the bridge, barking orders, but ready to get underway.
Okay, so you're talking to the crew that are manning the mechanism that actually propels you.
Yeah, my former underlings are all dead, aren't they?
No, one has been promoted to cook's assistant, and I think you have 2 left that are still running the down below.
Okay, yeah, that I'm yelling at them through the copper apparatus.
Okay, yeah, so they are priming the engines, getting that underway. Nicola, what are you doing?
Nicola is helping out, directing the crew to get the rigging ready and the engines and all that. She is focusing also on getting the ship, actually making sure that it's separated from the port, so that when we leave, it won't just like kind of just trying to pay attention to all the little details to get the ship just moving.
Perfect. So while you're out on deck, getting everything ready and running this around, as we noticed before in the chaos, there was a lightning storm was starting up, kind of across the river on the other side of the city. You could see it, how it was flashing lightning. Let's see if I can share that picture again. Actually, just when that guy was crashing, and you can see how across the river, that part of the city was undergoing kind of a lightning storm at the time. You notice now that storm is approaching where you're at as well. However, what you also notice as these clouds, as they're rolling in towards you, are lined in purple. The lightning that is streaking is no longer regular lightning, and you can see the purple tinge of this of the electricity that's flying back and forth. Advanced lightning, that's right. It's tier 3 lightning. As you are readying everything to leave, I need Argus to make me a operating check, please. Because of the chaos and everything that's going around and where you're at, this will be a difficulty 3 task.
And I've got a 2 in operating and 3 in intellect. So 2 yellow and a green.
Yes, that is correct.
2 yellow, 1 green, 3 purple.
Yeah.
Cool. In the end, 1 success.
Okay, so it's not pretty, but it happens. You manage to get out of the dock space that you're in and up into the air without hitting anything, without taking any damage. It's not your best flying, but it definitely does the job at this point. And it is while you're up in the air that even those of you who are below decks at this point can hear, it's almost like a gigantic thunder, like a thunder strike, whatever they're called, that goes off, but it sounds almost like the tearing of fabric as well. And yeah, the sky in that direction looks like it has been torn open. And utter blackness is behind it. Charlie, you are searching for a bag. just as this loud noise and rending of the sky happens, you kind of pass by one of the polished, either a porthole or something, but whatever it is, you see your reflection. I believe you're probably at this point, you probably might be still carrying your mask. I'm not sure if you would put it back on.
That's why I'm looking for the bag, is I don't have it anymore.
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone.
So as you pass by, you catch your reflection and you turn and you look, and I mean, you've never really liked what you see as a reflection. It's not terribly the most pretty sight ever. But this time you see something that you are not expecting. You do not see your deformed, half missing face. Instead, you see nothing but blackness where your face should be. There's no eyes, no nose, no mouth, no anything, just this inky blackness where your face should be.
No. I'm gonna, with my good hand, punch the glass.
I'm not even going to make you roll for that. You can just tell me what happens when you punch the glass of the portal.
Is this like, yeah, breaks my other hand. Maybe it cracks. I don't know. How thick is this glass? Is this like thick glass, or?
I would say it's pretty thick. I mean, you want it to withstand.
Yeah, is it like pressure resistant?
Yeah, it's meant to survive, like even like shots, etc. Because you don't want to have it blowing out while you're up in the air. So it is fairly thick.
Maybe I don't punch it, and with my bleeding hand, I just kind of smear blood across this to obscure this horrible visage.
Perfect.
And whatever search for the bag that I was at, like, kind of bebopping around for, is a little bit more frantic. I think I may see like a burlap potato sack, and we're just gonna Leatherface it from now on.
So do you put the bag over your face, cut holes for eyes? Is that what you're doing? Or...
Yep.
Mr. Sackface, awesome.
I'm not an animal.
I love this. Everyone else on deck, you see the sky rip open, inky blackness behind. What are you doing?
Did I see this tear through the window, or am I on like the other side or something?
I would say you were too preoccupied with if you were above deck, you did not see this because you were distracted with what you saw in the reflection.
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I think Fisk is eyeing this kind of storm with no small amount of trepidation, and he calls out, "August, get us out of here! Get us out of here quickly!" And he kind of turns to Nicola and says, "Nicola, I am afraid that I need you down below. We need to get this taken care of before that catches up."
Right away, Captain. And yeah, Nicola would follow him down into the kitchen.
Ephriam, what are you doing?
So I would imagine that Ephriam is making sure that everyone's on par and doing what they need to be doing. And when the loud tearing sound happened outside, he kind of walks over to the nearest port, and since they're unlatched, he kind of sticks his head through and looks up at the sky. He's like, well, ain't that a motherfucker. And he turns around and you hear the thing slam, and he starts walking up to the deck like, what kind of fucking ship did I sign on for? This fucking bullshit. I'm going to have a word with that dying captain. Well, the fucking reporting structure is all going to change. This is all going on in his head as he's like animating with his hands and stuff. And he's like, he turns around, you got the guns or I'll have your ass. And he doesn't know what he's going to say. He's just going to see if the captain's okay, really.
Argus.
Argus is attempting to focus on everything except the tear in the sky, falling into a focused discipline to push back the terror that is right behind us and not show it to anyone else as we hightail it out of here as quickly as we are able to.
Okay, give me another operating check to see how well. This one will be at difficulty 2 because you're now airborne.
That one's much better. I've got, let's see, what, 2, 4. So I got 4 success, 1, dropping the name. Hold on a second. Triumph. 2 failure, 1 threat.
Okay, so you have 2 success and a triumph, so that's 3 successes with the triumph on the back end and 1 threat. Okay.
Yes.
So maybe as the threat, you manage to
You're almost done.
and maybe you clip another ship as you're exiting, but you're flying really well. You basically have 3 successes and a triumph. You can tell me what you would like to have happen with the triumph as you're flying.
Is it starting to get late?
What ship is it that we clipped?
Just a passing merchant ship, another one that's trying to get out of the way. You just kind of clipped it in passing.
So it wouldn't be like a city guard ship or anything like that.
No, not with that. No.
I guess with the Triumph, clipping it kind of pushed us a little further away from the city. I imagine that the ship was docked and whatnot, and us clipping it kind of bounced us out as we accelerate and gain altitude.
Yeah, I would almost say too that maybe the Triumph allows you to get out relatively unnoticed by authorities. They are not interested in you, and
I hope they're interested in the tear in the sky.
Right. And anybody who is looking at the tear, so Argus, you say you're trying not to look at it.
I am trying very hard not to look at it.
Okay. Mr. Captain Fisk, Nicola, you've gone down below decks, right? And Charlie, you are also below decks? Yeah. And Ephriam, you said you went above decks to find the captain.
Yeah, because I peered out the port, the
Okay.
gun hole, and looked at the tear in the sky, and then backed up. Hands kind of shaking a little bit, and he resorts to anger because inside he's kind of like, what the fuck is going on? So that's why he's grumbling as he's walking up the stairs.
So you are the only one to see this as it happens. tendrils of something look like they're coming through the tear. You can't really tell what it is. It's this black inky, almost smoke-like, but it has a little bit more substance. It almost seems to flow a little bit, and it's coming through the tear. And you also notice that there's like dots, but then as they approach and you can see them and they get closer, some sort of winged creatures are flying towards the dock area itself, and some break off and are pursuing your ship. And that is where we're going to stop this session.
That I would amend that to say he's running up the stairs. I mean, he did yell at them saying they had the guns and he'd be right back, but he is running up the stairs now to find the captain.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, everyone. You guys are amazing. I love this game so much. I'll send it back. We're going to reverse order. I mean, we could say what they want as an outro. We will start with Megan.
This is so much fun. It's so cool to be a pirate and a cyborg pirate at that. Thank you for having me. It was really, really fun.
It was awesome having you, and you showed them guys how it's done. Really. Next, we have Jason.
She did, because Argus, as we progress further along in this story, I just get more beat up and more beat up. I mean, I'm not the hideous creature that Charlie's turning into, but no, I am having a blast with this. I appreciate you putting this on for us. It is fantastic. I like learning the new system. Genesys, again, is just a cool system, and that is a really nice break from other games that we all indulge in. You guys, if you haven't already, I'm sure that you have, give this a nice lady a subscribe. Watch all of her content. It is awesome, as well as everybody else here at the table. They all are top-notch creators, and I am a dwarf in their company. Yeah, I appreciate everything.
Thank you so much, Jason. I forgot what I was going to say, so I will just pass it on. Baron.
I am the deformed rightful first mate of the Triton's Folly. I'm Baron. I run the YouTube channel RWD Gaming. I just had a new video put up on the 30th of October. Go check it out. It was a lot of fun. I had great players. We dove into my homebrew setting of Valandorn, which is a labor of love, and hopefully if holidays go smoothly, we will see more of that in the new year. Echoing what Jason said, check out all these others. Fine channels. They are full of extraordinary content, but not echoing the sentiment that he is a dwarf among us, because, well, he puts up with us. So thank you, Karen. Thank you, everyone else.
Thank you, you guys. I cannot wait to watch more Valandorn goodness as it comes out. So bring it on. Yay. And thank you, all of you. Anybody who says that they have a channel, on the links, they'll all be in the description below. If I've done it right, that's where you'll find them. Next, we have Dave.
Hey, I'm Dave, and I am just, I don't consider Jason a dwarf. Maybe a short human, but not a dwarf. I'm just kidding. No, echoing his sentiments, yes, these all wonderful creators I'm in the presence of, and I am thankful to be a part of this game. It's a lot of fun that they let me talk in funny voices and pick fights with them. So it's a lot of fun. So I thank everyone for being here, and especially thank Karen for putting it together and running it for us.
Thank you, Dave. I remembered what I wanted to say way back. Genesys, I love the system as well. It's still taking us some time to get used to. It's a little bit different, but I like how the rules themselves help push the story on itself. It's not just a pass fail, it's a success and or success but, and I love that part of it. Last but not least, we have Jeremy.
Hello, everybody. Once again, I am Jeremy. Yeah, I said at the top of the game, but I'll say it again here. Like, these are some of my favorite people. Not just people, but players as well. I love playing with this group of people very much. And there's this really special thing that happens whenever you get to play pirates. There's like a complete full license to just be nasty and vile and cruel, and it's fun. It's fun to kind of excise that not excise, whatever. What I don't know what word I'm looking for, but to kind of get that out of your system. I think it's a really cool thing. And again, cannons and ships and flying around on ropes and guns with huge plumes of black powder. I mean, it's hard to get a lot better than that. So yeah, I love it. Any chance that I get to play a pirate, I'm all on board. So yeah, I do have a YouTube channel. It's called the Erasmas Expeditions, and you should go check that out. I've got lots of live plays, videos where I talk about RPGs, a series of interviews that I do with other people in the community called Help Action. So yeah, and again, Karen, thank you so much for not only working hard to put all this together and for teaching us this new system, but also for doing it in such a fantastic setting, and with the kid gloves that you usually treat us with, even if some of us come close to dying by those kid gloves. It's a lot of fun.
Do those gloves have a like fill for a missing finger?
No, but one of them's black.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a special glove made that slowly turns black as the game goes on.
But wait, it's a pair actually. So
you guys are great. This game wouldn't be what it is without all of you. You guys are all amazing. You dive right in and do all this fancy stuff, and I feel sometimes I'm just trying to keep up with you all and give you what you would like to see and just go with it. We just embrace this game, and thank you so much for playing along and doing that with me. So with that, we'll sign off, and thank you everyone for watching now and in the future, and we'll see you next time, if I know how to shut it off.